Shalom, shalom, everyone. This is ZACHARIAH with another edition of the School of Knowledge. This is our weekly Shabbat class. We thank you for joining us today. And right now we're just having an open discussion about current events and things that are happening. And the reason why we're cutting the recording on now is because we feel it's necessary for us to hear these things as a community, as a people. We have to be able to let our voice be heard in a positive manner because we Israel. And we have to be able to give an answer to every man in all things. So I just wanted to cut that on so we can go ahead and, get started and not stop the conversation because we can give a few minutes to this, and you're absolutely right. It's our responsibility as being older people to teach the younger people how to go. And I'm sorry it could hurt your feelings, and it's going to hurt your feelings. But the truth of the matter is that we learn through experience, and that if we've been here a while and we've learned from our parents and we've made mistakes, we can tell you what not to do. But this is serious business right here. We're losing too many of our children. We getting too close to the end. We're 4 months away from to completing a 400-year sentence, and the closer we get, the more the enemy is ramping up, and we got to tell our young people stand down from all of that killing and shooting and all that stuff. Leave that stuff alone because we're getting ready to have an outcome that no other man of no other nation can attest to. We got to stop all of this.
Absolutely.
Ain't for real. We that generation that bridged the old with the new. Yeah,
that's who we are. That's what our role is. That's what we're supposed to be taking out. Because society has told us that we can't spank our kids, we can't do this. But we that generation. That's why we here. That's why we on this line. That's what we taking in.
Yeah, absolutely.
We that generation.
Absolutely. And and it seems like the younger people that's in their 40s and their 30s and they've lived the life, but like you said, we're closer to the elders, because the elders that are on this line is our parents. You know what I'm saying? They have a voice on the people that are, my mom is 75 years old. You know what I'm saying? These are our parents. And we've had an opportunity to be able to live in a different era than the ones that are in their 40s and the ones that are in their 30s. You know what I'm saying? We've seen different things than a lot of people have. And we got to be able to tell these kids, stop killing each other. It's not worth it. We tired of that. We tired of seeing our young men laying dead in the street. We're tired of seeing our young women laying dead in the street. This is the enemy's job, is to kill, steal, and to destroy. We're tired of seeing icons show up at funerals and movie stars showing up to sing at your funeral. We're tired of that. Enough. It's time to do something else. We've been in these streets and in territories for years and years and years. It's time to do something else. We can ready to go home. We can ready to have all that mess when we go home. It's just too much. It's just too much. It's just time to stop all that.
Well,
please.
This is Adonia Shalom family. Yeah, can I be heard?
Yes, sir, please.
Yeah, see, it's heartbreaking. Breaks your heart every time that you hear something go on. You understand? But this stuff has to happen. I'm sorry to say. This is part of the Almighty's plan. It can't be part of our plan because if it was part of our plan, it would have been to stop. We would have been able to stop it. This is the Almighty's plan. And it's heartbreaking, man. It brings tears to your eyes when you hear these things going on. This little kid was in school, and the police had to come and get her, but they beat her all up, throwed her all down the stairs, and fell down the stairs with her, got her down there, twisted her arm behind her back, stepped on her back to hold her still while the old guy handcuffed her, tased her about 18 times. Oh man, stuff like that breaks your heart. It's true. And her father was there, acted on the scene. Well, he had showed up. He had been called to the scene because there's nothing that he could do. They just jumped on him, beat him all up, throw him down.
Well, they would have had to. They would have had to. That was the one time they really would have had to, because that's just ridiculous. But I understand what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying. It's a time of Jacob's trouble.
Hallelujah.
And I'm telling you something. Let me say something to those children and those young people that's in California. Please do not erupt. Do not. Please, that's what they want.
Yeah.
Please do not erupt and do not let this take you all to that level. Please don't do that, because that's what they want. I'm begging you, don't do that. Just I know everybody is hurting right now, and everybody, they just don't know what to make of it, because like the guy said, when you try to do something right, you still get killed.
Yep.
When you do something wrong, you get killed, and then when you try to do something right, you still get killed.
No, what gets me is when fanfares involve the whole community, everybody riding in the streets. We had somebody get shot over here in this neighborhood. I'm standing on my porch. It happened a few feet away from my front porch. All the people that came outside, don't say nothing, y'all. Don't tell the police nothing. I'm like, if that was your son that just got shot down, wouldn't you want somebody to say something? But when somebody like that, you ain't even got to know the guy. I mean, you don't know as stars really what they into, what they done signed their name on. I'm not saying he did. I'm not saying that. But all I'm saying is it's just amazing to me how if you in the fanfare in the limelight, everybody riding in the streets, but I see it every day in my neighborhood. My sister called me like, girl, don't you know your neighborhood was on first 48 again? Yeah. I live here. Yeah. But they outside, don't say nothing, y'all. Don't tell the police nothing. It's like, really? Ain't nobody, we ain't got nobody marching in the street over here. Ain't no newscasters. Twitter, ain't nobody saying nothing about this. Why these people ain't famous? These everyday regular poor people over here.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's how it is. They don't give any acknowledgement to the poor people because, to the everyday person, because it doesn't affect them the way somebody of a different social status is, and it do make a difference when it's a star to them because that's the generation we dealing with. So that's how we have to approach them from that type of way to let them know that no matter what you feel, because it feels like this thing is about to erupt.
Yeah, and can I add to that with Nipsy Hussle, it was an assassination, and the person that did it was set up, and someone had set him up, and Nipsey was going to reveal something that Dr. Sebi had invented. Dr. Sebi was the one that came out with the cure for cancer,
right,
HIV, and also the CDC recognized the fact that what Dr. Sebi had invented, or what he had said about some of the medication that has been given out to the black communities, and also about our dietary laws. It was clarified that the pig or the pork was detrimental to anybody, was not to be consumed at all by any humans. And they didn't want that to get out, but it's a fact that eating pork is like eating, it's like cannibalism. And the medications and that they make, it came from testing or doing different testing to the pig, to the pork, because pork skin is like human skin. And therefore, when
I've heard that.
And when they come out with the high blood pressure medication, it's not for black people. Our immunity is not for that. We are to keep the dietary law according to the scriptures. And so Dr. Sebi came out and said that what the Bible had proclaimed for us not to eat was true. And CDC, they know that. They don't want it to come out. So Nipsy Hussle was going to reveal that, although Dr. Seabee's his previous wife, not his first wife, but his second wife, I believe had made a commitment not to do that. But Nipsey didn't.
But why did he need a documentary to tell the truth? He could have just got on his Instagram page and say that.
Right, and now Nick Cannon's
Hold on, everybody can't talk at the same time. Hold on. Go ahead, Sister
This whole Dr. C.B. Nipsey conspiracy thing, I personally don't believe. If you know the truth, you know the truth. You don't need to formulate a documentary. He could have got on his Instagram page and told the truth. That's what we do on this channel.
Nick Cannon is.
You can tell the truth. You don't need to make a documentary to make money to tell people the truth.
Right, absolutely.
If you knew that information, why can't you just tell it? He could have got on a YouTube page and say, this is what X, Y, and Z. What was the point of the documentary?
Can I say this? Can I say something?
Please, go ahead.
Yeah, what I was thinking was because of that reparation was moving around so swiftly, and everybody, that was a conversation. All on YouTube. Everybody walked down and go to talk to black people in the store. They bringing it up. It's all over the place. So I'm thinking in my head that was just something for us to look another way.
You think it was a distraction?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
distraction.
Well, let me say this. I'll say this. Whatever it was, and whoever did it, for whatever reason it was, that was a waste of a young man's life. And the fact that he was doing what he was doing, sometimes it takes a celebrity to do that for our young people to listen, because they don't listen to us, and we've lived long enough to be able to tell them what to do and what not to do. They're not listening to anything we tell them to do, so they look up to their peers. And he was a young man that everybody looked up to. And the accomplishments that he made with him and his brother and all the things that they have done, it was truly something phenomenal to see what they had done together. The fact that they've done it, he was hiring felons out of the prison and giving them jobs. He was giving them opportunities to be able to work. He was doing all of those things, and he was sitting down with the other gang members to say, let's have a truce. Let's come together and do a ceasefire and sit down with the sheriff's department so we can fix our streets, so we can have a neighborhood. Basically, they were doing what the Black Panthers, he was trying to do what the Black Panthers did years ago, to govern their own neighborhood.
That's why he was assassinated.
And you know what I'm saying? And I don't know who did it, but whoever did it and whatever reason it was a terrible thing to see our children hurting the way that they were and crying the way that they were and upset. I'm talking about our men. I'm not talking about the women. I'm talking about the men that got on there like, I'm broken. I don't know what to say, because when you do good, this will happen to you. When you do bad, this will happen to you. And the only thing that I can say to them, to all of them, the Bloods and the Crips and all of that, we have a better hope. We have something to look forward to. It's not just about stores and building a better community, because we are the children of Israel, and our God is coming to take us out of this mess. And you know what? We can't get comfortable with this stuff to the point where we let this stuff break us down to the point we're killing each other, because we have a hope that a whole lot of nations don't have. And this is the story. This is what we've got to communicate to them. And if it takes something like this happening to be able to get their attention, then so be it.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. Like Brother Donai said, this is something that, we're sorry for, but this is God's doing. And in the curse, it did say that no one could deliver us, no one, but Yah. And this is what He's trying to let us know, that He's going to be the one to deliver us from our captivity. Malcolm X couldn't. Martin Luther King couldn't. Nipsey Hussle couldn't. All the others that tried could not, because the Most High said he was the one that's going to get the glory.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And guess what? And out of that, when you realize that some things, even though they're bad and they happen, we have to be able to say, okay, this is an opportunity for us to be able to teach, to speak Yah. We got to be able to speak Yah, because only what you do for Yah is going to last. Nothing else is going to work. And we've had enough guns. We've had enough shootings. We've had enough killings. It's been enough. And we ain't going to have no men. It's not going to be none left. You know what I'm saying? We are not going to have any men. We are not birthing men for them to be killed by the police or for them to kill each other. We need our black men. It's time out for that. We're going to be a nation that's got very few men left.
The game plan is extinction. Get rid of us.
It is something like that. Like I said, they retaliating on that guy's family, man. They kill us. Please don't do that. I mean, they are. The one brother was like, a reaction causes, action causes a reaction. And you don't understand what happens when you kill an icon like you do. Man, it's going to cause a problem. You have just put a tag on your whole family.
If y'all remember, we've been here before with Tupac and Biggie. It was the same situation.
Again.
But I was getting ready to say Nick Cannon is supposed to be finishing that Dr. Stevie documentary. He said he was going to pick it up and complete it.
And whatever reason it is, now the guy talking about the government hired him to get killed. All over the internet now, the government hired me to kill him. Well, guess what? If they did, chances are you won't get far. You ain't gonna be able to say too much else. Share real talk. So this is serious. We getting too close now. We too close to the edge now to let this kind of stuff in. We too close. Guess what? I'm sorry that Dr. CB is gone. My condolences go out to his family. I'm sorry that Nipsey Hussle is gone. My condolences go out to his family. But guess what? We already got a cure for AIDS. Y'all said we make it to the wilderness. He going to heal us from all this stuff when we get there. Let's get there. We ain't got to take no cure from this stuff. All you got to do is keep his laws, statutes, and commandments and live in those things. And let's do that. Let's make that happen. So when we get the heck up out of this place, we ain't got to look back no more. We can leave all the guns and all the stuff here.
But we preach that to these same people, and they don't listen.
I know it. I know. That's why I said sometimes when it happens to the icon and they're hurting, sometimes it's the best time to reach a person is when they're hurting. To say, stand down. If you want to do something, come together and pray with us. Meet us in Washington, D.C., and let's come together and pray that we can get the hell up out of here. And excuse my French, but that's just where I'm at right. I'm tired of seeing our children killing each other in the streets. Enough. Because that's the only thing that's going to work is for us to come together as a nation, and pray and ask Yah to deliver us from this place. Because this place is where it built all of this animosity between us as a people. Ain't no such thing as no reds and no blues and no bloods and no crips. We all are the children of Israel, and whatever tribe you from, that's where you from. That's right. You can't walk in this territory because you got on the wrong color. This is what this society has brewed in our family and our children. They done pump drugs in our community. They done got our mothers and fathers strung out on drugs. People depressed because they can't find no jobs. They can't get. It's just, man, listen, it's time to stop. We too close now. We are too close now. The black on black crime, it's time to stop. It is. It's really, that's just too much. it's just too much. I mean, you know, my heart goes out to his mother. I didn't really know him, but when I really started researching and going into the information, my heart goes out to his mother. You know, my prayers are with you, you know, and we definitely pray that you get through this, because that's a terrible thing to have to experience. You know, it's his children, you know, the girl he was trying to be married to or whatever, you know, all of that. It's just sisters and brothers, his grandmother. We have to be able as a community leader, and being from the nation of Yehudah. And a lot of people don't even know who we are, but we know who we are. We're the children of Israel. Y'all put us in this position right now on this phone today to be able to do something with our communities. And like Sister Affion said, nobody wants to listen, because they still think that it's about cars and houses and gold chains and jewelry. Yes, it's not. You know, those things are nice. If you have them, you have them. I don't knock that. Have what you have, drive what you drive, live where you live. But this is not our land. This is not our community. We need to do everything in our power, and I'm speaking of all the gang members, all of the dope dealers all over the country. This should be a wake-up call. It's time for us to get our communities together. It's time to protect our communities and make sure that our mothers and children are protected as they go to school. They was trying to do what the Black Panthers was trying to do, and they don't want us to do that. They want us to act like animals, and we're not animals. We are kings and queens and princes and princesses. And I'm not just saying that just to say it. That's in our blood. We got to start. Our men need to start protecting us. Doggone it, I'm tired of that. We shouldn't have to call the police to do nothing. Our men are supposed to protect us. It's just time. It's time for it. It's just time. You know, you can't stop the person from being jealous. I see you, area code 678. I'll get you in a moment. You can't stop the person from being jealous of what you have and who you are. But then we just, for our men are supposed to protect us. They're supposed to protect us.
That's correct. The men, we all have to step up in one accord. We need to protect all of our women and all of our children, hands down. That's the way y'all want it to be. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You need to get yourself in shape to be able to protect your family at all times.
I absolutely agree.
We need it. We need it.
I don't want nobody to misconstrue by the things that we see and we go on. We think that we need to get a gun or we need to band together and at it. We don't need to do that. If we come back to the Almighty with all our heart and all our soul, He will protect yours and your friends, your family and your friends. You understand? Because those of us that have our children, my children is out there, man, and I pray for them all the time. I don't know what they might get into. They may be good kids and don't get into no trouble. That's the ones that get it most of the time. So that's all we can do, man, is pray and ask the Almighty to be with us, and He'll watch over us, man. I'm telling you, that's how we gonna have this remnant if the Almighty don't watch over us.
The thing is, we have to step up, bottom line, but also understanding some of the things that are going on around us as well. Remember, if you in this country, we're drinking and eating out of plastic products. Those plastic products mimics a chemical estrogen. So there's a chemical feminization is going on in the Western world, whether people realize it or not. You step out of this country and go to some underdeveloped countries, they're drinking out of glass bottles like we used to do when we were children. Everything's in plastic for a reason. So there's a chemical feminization attack on the Melanite male in the Western Hemisphere, hands down. You can go off the board and you can take a look. The evidence is out there. So that's just one level. We're not even talking about the chemtrails. We're not talking about the fluoride in water. It's a whole chemical full court press is being put on because people, the level of hate for Yah's children is that great.
But
and the level of fear towards Yah's children is that great. So that's why it's being done to all of us, male and female, of melanite, of carbon melanite.
Yeah, does it have to do with the choices that people make? Some people are making bad choices.
They are.
And you have to believe in Yah. The big thing in Hollywood is Ra. I see it on social media all the time. All those guys talk about Ra. Look up to Ra. They don't even believe in Yah. Let's start there.
You're absolutely correct. That's the problem.
Well, I mean, what is it going to take? Is it going to take us losing most of our own people before people realize that it's something wrong? Is it going to take that? I mean, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, they look up to these icons. And sometimes whether you want to be an icon or not, people make you into that. You remember Malcolm, the girl from Chicago? I just wanted to meet you, Yehudah. I said, I'm just a regular person. So don't put me there because I'm just a regular person. And because, like Malcolm said, because you're on the radio and people hear you on the class, they in their minds, you become this character, this superhero to them, and it's like, no, I'm just a regular person. And when you're dealing with young people, these are the things that they look up to, and unfortunately, these are the people that they mimic their lives after. And we've got to do something. That's all I'm saying. Is we're gonna have to really begin to pray for our young people and our communities. You know, that our voice is going to be heard. Because if not, oh, my goodness gracious. I can't imagine. I seen his mom at the funeral, and she just looked numb. She was just numb. You know, and I'm like, man, oh, my goodness, man, this is just, you know what I'm saying? Oh, my goodness. It was like, oh, just numb. Everybody was just numb because it took everybody by surprise. Not saying that it wasn't already going to happen because we don't know Yah's divine timing. He does what he does, when he does. But just the reaction of what it cost. I don't know if you guys were able to see it on YouTube and really look at the street and how many people came. They had that boy's funeral at a Coliseum. And it was packed to capacity. That's how much influence.
And then somebody want to do a drive-by at a funeral.
Exactly. They're angry and they're hurting because what solution do they have? Who's offered a solution?
Nobody.
That's the problem. Well, the Most High says that He's gonna deal with Israel first. How are we thinking that's gonna happen?
I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, you know, we got to be able to get our, you know, like I said, just please, just stop the killing. Just, you know, that's because we need our men. We do. We need our young men. That's where our seed comes from. That's how our children are born. You know, and all this stuff, if you dying over stuff that's just irrelevant. It's irrelevant at the end of the day. You can't take it with you.
You know, it's not. We need to stop thinking about how it's going to happen and start thinking about that it is going to happen. See, the Almighty's going to make this stuff work. See, we, you know, like someone said on the show here today, is that we not going to get the glory. The Almighty going to get the glory. If He put anybody in place, then they will get the glory. And just like when Moshe was at the rock and he struck the rock. And without giving the Almighty, without going to the Almighty, and that was one of the reasons why that he didn't go into the land, because he did what he wanted to do, or he thought of it in his what he thought for the Almighty. You understand? We gotta know that these things are going to happen because the Almighty said so, man. Yeah. That His voice never came back void.
That's true.
And you know, I'm going to add this. You know, I hear all that pain, and I agree with you, sis. You know, we need to quit killing ourselves, and especially when it comes to men, we need to protect our families, our women, our children, and our neighborhoods. But I will say this, and this may not be popular, but I'm gonna say it: only a remnant gonna return.
That's true.
Hallelujah.
And that's
Hallelujah.
and that's God's will. And I think that everybody that's on this line needs to just sit back for a second and thank the Almighty for waking us up.
Hallelujah.
To actually see. Because we can sit out and look at the rest of Israel, and if they're not getting it, and we can't say that it's not out there for them to get, because it is.
It is.
We cannot say that this information and what we know and what we feel in our hearts and the love we feel in our hearts toward the Almighty, we can't say it ain't out there for them to get.
I agree.
And then when you put yourself up, and I know this may sound harsh, but I got to say it. But when you got thousands of people going to somebody's funeral, but yet you got 20 people want to pray to the Most High.
Hallelujah.
That's true.
That's you
That's
put
true.
them as an idol. We can't have any idols.
That's true. That is the truth. That is the truth. That's the truth.
Hallelujah.
That is.
Hallelujah.
I mean, you know, sometimes the truth hurts, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
You know, it is. You're right. You're absolutely right. You know, it's just hard to watch. You know, sometimes it's just hard to watch as a nation of people. It's hard to watch it.
Heartbreak there.
It is. It's hard to watch. But these is young people, young men, young women, you know, and like you said, they mind is so far, it's just gone. It's just not, they don't hear it. Like you said, it's out there for them to hear it, and they don't hear it. You know, and they want the outcome to be the way they want the outcome to be. You know, and it's just hard to watch. Because those are our children. Those are somebody's children that they raised up to, and they didn't raise them up to be that way.
No.
You know? They didn't raise them up to be that way. It's just hard to watch. It is. It really
that
is.
you know of.
You know. But all I can do is go by what I know. I mean, that's all I can do. You know? That's all you can do. But it's just terrible. It's a terrible thing. You know, it's just terrible.
You know, we're about to see a lot worse. I mean, and I'm not trying to change what we are talking about.
No, go ahead.
But have you all actually looked at what's really happening, these plagues that are actually hitting this nation? You're not going to be food here in a second. You got a second, what they call bomb cyclone hitting the Midwest. And it's hitting predominantly them states where they predominantly live. Idaho, Nebraska, Wyoming. That's a warning to them folks. That they should be sitting back thinking, you know what, we might want to start leaving these people alone and start talking about some peace here and start negotiating some love here instead of all this stuff. Because if you systematically watch, this whole nation is being taken down. Systematically.
That's true.
Every freaking month, it gets worse. Exactly. It's getting worse every month. So by the time we get to September the 7th, there's no telling what's going to be going on in this country on September the 7th. We might be wanting to pray to get us out of here.
That's true.
That outbreak of the measles.
I agree with that.
Exactly.
Yes. And you know, that outbreak of the measles, now they're telling people to get vaccinated, even from the age, the year of 1989, and they're asking them to go back and get a second immunization for the measles. But, you know, if you look at it, it's basically, it's them. It's the white people that are getting it.
Yes. That's what's happening. That's what I'm talking about.
They said that people that was vaccinated back in 1948 all the way to 1962, 63, they're okay. But anyone after that needs to get a second vaccination.
Trying to pollute your body. Don't get any vaccination.
Yep.
I'm not.
And they're also saying that if you don't get vaccinated, there's a $1,000 fine.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Certain places you can go and certain places you cannot.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's fear mongering on their part, because of course, people don't want to have a bill. But the thing is, you got to realize what's in the balance: your health and your life. Because over time, if you've been on this channel, we've talked about drinking distilled water, silica water, alkaline water. These are things that are going to purge stuff out of your system. In this realm, everyone has aluminum in your brain. You have to drink silica water, which passes the blood-brain barrier and removes aluminum out of your brain. Everyone has aluminum. If you're not removing aluminum, it's going to continue to build up and create neurological problems and a whole lot of other issues with the body. So for us, as a nation, if we are on the same accord with what Yah is saying, as far as our dietary laws and things that we've learned from people that have ministered to us, like Dr. Sebi, we can put ourselves where we need to be as a nation. We can't agree if we're on different frequencies, if we're on different energy levels. If people are at the energy level of fear and they're just watching the news and they're just going back and forth with what the world is saying, that's not the same person that's operating as a spiritual being, waiting on Yah, studying Yah's word, implementing it in not just themselves, but in their families, in their communities, and moving forward like we're supposed to. Those two beings cannot agree on anything because they're at two different complete frequencies.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we have to do all of those things. We have to do the best we can where we are, and we have to continue to follow God's laws, statutes, and His commandments. And we have to exhibit love. We have to make sure that the energy that's coming from us is love, because the negative energy is what causes the problem, and it weakens you. It weakens your immune system. It weakens everything. And we can't operate in fear, because Yah hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but of love and of power and of a sound mind. And we have to be able to do that. And all of those things come with understanding God's word and understanding He left the book here on record for us to be able to read the word so that we can see for ourselves and hear for ourselves as we read this word how He protected our ancestors and the lengths that He went through to protect them, to make sure that they were okay. And like Brother Donnie, I say, He's never gone back and said, "Oops, I messed up, I got to go do that over again." He left us with a dietary law. We have to follow those dietary laws. We have to be able to do the things that He tells us to do, to keep the high holy days. And, I enjoyed the Feast of Unleavened Bread the last 7 days. I enjoyed it, because I knew that I was doing it and being obedient. And the biggest thing was that as a group, we were doing it together.
That's power, that's unity, and that's how we renew our mind, because the enemy is constantly trying to get us to reject the truth or believe a lie. But if we keep our frequency up by following what Yah says, studying His commands, sharing that information with the rest of the nation, and this is how we're going to walk, letting the world know who our Elohim is, and that's who we're going to follow, and we're going to keep increasing our vibration where we're supposed to be at. That's what we're doing.
That's true. I have to agree with him on that one. I really do. That is true, because that's how we draw people to us. And they wonder, well, what is it about you all that, and even with that, we're even protecting our children from some things. Because some of our kids is involved in some of this same living and some of this same stuff we see on TV. But it's because of the obedience of the parent that the Most High is showing them some grace and some mercy. And guess what? Some of them are not our children, and we're going to still have to cover them the same way. We're going to have to pray for our people as a nation, and especially our young people, that we branch out, because it takes a village. It do. It takes a village. And on that note, let me say this while I have everybody online. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to put this on the recorder. I had so many people sign up for the 2019 Day of Repentance. I need you guys to follow through. I need you to follow through. We sent you an email and asked you to answer the questions so that we can accommodate the things that we need and have everything that you need. We need you to follow through. This is not the time to drop the ball, even though, like Brother Yerushalayim said, only those that Yah puts on their heart to be there will be there. Because this is the most important thing that we'll ever do before we leave the land of this captivity. This is one of the most important things that we'll ever do. We got to do this, those that is called to do it. Because everybody talk real good. Oh, I'll be there. Oh, you know I'm coming. Oh, we gonna see. Because it's only for a select few. There's the ones that know the importance of it. This is for the whole nation. This is for the whole nation of Israel. These are the children of Israel that scattered all over the world. All over the world. In witchcraft and all kind of stuff.
Sometimes you just have to stand in the breach.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
Because there's, what we got to understand, what I understand here is that, and we in a captive state, and we want to do a lot of things. We say we want to do a lot of things, but our captive state takes charge, and the human factors of everything. We got a lot of things that are being done that's keeping us docile. And so, and we got to allow for those things, man. That's what I try to do.
Well, and you're right. You're right. You know why? Because it's something that the Most High has always said that Israel has always done. We have always paid attention to the things that were not necessary instead of paying attention to Yah. We've always done that, just like they're doing now. They always, when something bad happens, they always go get the same folks, and they get the same results. And somebody told me, somewhere I read that that's the definition of madness, is when you do the same thing and expect different results. I read that somewhere, that that's the definition of madness. But you know what? Whenever there's a catastrophe, you got the same folks that's standing around, the same so-called icons that's standing around, and nothing changes. And I just would be so glad, Brother Donia, that you know what I want, and I'm going to pray that they just listen.
Remember the days of Noah. He told people for 100 years that something was going to get ready to happen. Y'all get yourselves together. He talked to them. And when the flood came, you understand, it wiped out a whole bunch of people, everybody but Noah's children and sister-in-law. So we got to look at that, man. Sometimes we standing in the breach here. You understand? For everybody. You understand what I'm saying? Those of us that can't make it, those of us, whatever circumstances and situation, you understand? That's all we could do, sister. We want everybody to understand, or everybody that's going to understand. It's only going to be a remnant, like the brother said. Hallelujah.
When you turn to Jeremiah chapter 30, the Most High breaks it down. Because I don't want nobody to be on here and be like, well, we was talking about everything we got. We ain't read one scripture. Well, evidently this must be needed. So for you all who are new, we'd like to welcome you to this call. This is every Saturday on the Sabbath at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And sometimes we go off script because it's necessary. Because, if he's trusting us to do what we're doing right now, we have to sometimes take a minute and say, there's some things that we need to address as a nation, because our nation is truly in a serious situation. Sister tonight, I see your phone call. I'll get to it in a minute. Jeremiah chapter 30, it said, verse 7, it says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, But guess what the Most High said? But he shall be saved out of it.
Hallelujah.
That's what he said.
Hallelujah.
He said this is going to be a bad thing. It's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. You know, and sometimes I ask myself, can it get any worse?
Oh, yeah. We're going to have to, we got to have these stories to tell our children, and our children tell their grandchildren, and all the things, so that we will never, never, ever get in a predicament like this again.
No, we're not going down this road anymore. Once liberated, we're going to move forward because we're committed to follow what Yah has said. Yah's going to be facing us. The people that have been persecuting us well above and beyond reason are going to get the punishment that Yah is going to implement. And we're going to follow Yah. We're going to follow his commands. And like we were saying earlier, we're going to stay in the Word. For us to be in the Word, it renews the mind. That's what we have to do. We have to follow and trust on Yah, follow the commands and instructions he's already given us, and move forward as a nation. That's what we have to do.
Hallelujah. Praise him. Watch what he said. For it shall come to pass, in verse 8, in that day saith the Most High host, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. But they shall serve the Most High their Elohim, and Dawid their king, whom I will raise up unto them. He said, therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Most High, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
He said, for I am with thee, saith the Most High, to save thee. Though I make a full end, listen to this, of all nations, whether I have scattered thee, yet I will not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these are the hope. This is the hope that we have, and our children don't even realize that we are living in the land of our captivity. They just got so caught up in this mess, they think this is our place. They think this is it. They think you don't go no further than a Benz or a Bentley and some gold chains around their neck. They really do think that this is where it stops.
Eurocentric education. That is the reason why our young people don't know. Because our old people were taught the same, and they taught our children.
That's true.
And until we break the mindset, then we will be always in this predicament.
That's true. That's true. You know what? It goes right to the next what you just said. He said, for thus saith the Most High, thy bruise is incurable, thy wound is grievous. He said, there is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicine. He said, all thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. The Most High said, and he said, none of them. He said, why criest thou for thy affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquities, because thy sins were increased. I have done these things unto thee. Watch what he said. He said, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured. And all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. Watch what he said to Dr. CB. Watch what he said. He says, for I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Most High, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. Thus saith the Most High, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tent, and have mercy on his dwelling place. And the city shall be built upon her own heap, and the palaces shall remain after the manner thereof. This is what we have to look forward to. And they want us chasing after this stuff and chasing after this stuff and chasing after it. And then once you're chasing after it, guess what? Once you get it and then you finally get it, it still don't satisfy because there's nothing that's going to fill that void but the love of the Most High Yah. Look, I'm going to tell you from experience. That's the only thing that fills the void. That's it. You can have all the gold in the world, the diamonds in the world, the clothes in the world, the purses in the world, the shoes, all the stuff in the world. You can have it all. But nothing fills that void but the Most High Yah. Nothing else. And see, it takes wisdom to be able to say that. Because some of us live life to the point where we've had a few things in life, and guess what? When you had it, you were stressed out and grievous over it. It was too much. And some people rich and still depressed. I never forget that young man that said he was depressed. And he had $700 million, was worth $700 million. That ought to let you know at that point that this thing is bigger than we think it is. It's not stuff. It ain't never been stuff. It ain't sex. It's never been sex. But that's what they do. That's what they throw in our face. And that's what they dangle in front of us to make us think that if I can just get this, I'll be all right. If I could just be with somebody that looked like that, I could be happy. If I could just drive that car and live in that neighborhood, all my problems would be solved. But that's not true. That's the trick of the enemy, because only what you do for Yah is going to last. And I'm going to tell you something, for you all that listen to my voice out there in the radio world and on television and YouTube or wherever you at, everybody on this line that has met Yah has met with a level of peace that they didn't have before.
Okay. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I know I do.
Mm-hmm.
I know I have. I can't speak for nobody else, but I know I have. And I don't even have half of the stuff that I used to have. But I'm all right with it. It's all well with me. I just want to go home. I want to go home and be with the Most High Yah.
Yeah.
You're not the only one. I'm ready to go now. Right now.
and wait a minute, let me let y'all know we got some rich folks on this line. They don't say nothing because they humble enough, but we got some rich folks on this line that's saying, I'm ready to go. But we'll walk away from it all.
Why are you going like that?
I'm ready to go.
You know? It is. We got doctors on this line, and lawyers on this line, and dentists on this line, and rich people on this line that say, I'll give it all up. I'm ready to go. This is wisdom talking. It's not stuff. So don't never let them dangle that in your face and let you think that that's going to make you happy. Because it's not. It doesn't make you happy.
It never has. It never has.
You know why it hasn't? Because we're displaced. We're not in our rightful place. We're not doing the things that we're supposed to be doing as a nation. We're not supposed to be at the bottom. We're not supposed to be broke. We're not supposed to be where we are, but we're here because we disobeyed. Most of the kids don't even know we were slaves. Or they don't talk about it because they think it's something that makes them feel less than. That's your history. We're living in the land of our captivity. They brought us here captives as slaves. This ain't where we're supposed to be.
No, they're trying to go ahead and rewrite history anyway, saying that, we came here voluntarily.
Please. Who would volunteer to do this?
Exactly.
I mean, I really want to know. Explain to me who would volunteer to do this. Who would volunteer to live in the ghetto?
Everybody who fine.
Who would volunteer to be on food stamps and welfare? I don't know nobody who would volunteer to live like that. They're lying to people.
There's no violence.
What?
We volunteered. Please, I don't know if you are, you foolish, because I don't know nobody who would volunteer to be poor. I don't. We volunteered. Ain't that nice? That's bad as the lady came on the radio and she told me, Yaina, you're taking the scriptures literally. I said, we in a literal captivity. They literally hung us, and they literally sold our children. So what part of this are we not supposed to take literally?
Thank you.
We're still here.
Because I'm literally sitting in a place that I ain't supposed to be in. Literally.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to take the scriptures literally. It's literal to me because, when I look at it and I walk through it word by word, we experience those things every day.
Well, the way I say
literally.
And everybody can stay asleep.
Well, then the way I see it is like this. I can literally leave when y'all said to go, and they can literally stay here with these oppressors all they want.
Exactly. Exactly. No, you taking it literally. I better. Because guess what they'll do? They will explain this captivity away like it was not a big deal. Like the man said, oh, you volunteered to come. I don't know nobody who would volunteer to do this. I know.
Well, like Paul Mooney said, he said we are stolen property.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are. Wait a minute, private property that was stolen. But the thing that was stolen was our land and our identity because the Most High spoke to captivity in the place. They didn't steal us. They came and got us so we was going to fulfill his word. Because we was going to fulfill that word. And we thought because we ran into Africa that we was going to be safe. But guess what? The Most High don't never forget. He told the angels, okay, it's time for you to go to the enemy and put it in the mountain to go get them black people, them Negroes down there in Negro land. Go get them. I'm taking something literally, please. This is real. Unfortunately, it's real. So it's a lot. When you deal with this is a lot. That we have to really be honest with ourselves and say, look, that to our young people and say, look, you got two choices. You can either keep doing what you're doing and expect a different result and get the same old thing, or you can take time to at least listen. Because there's a lot of people that's going to come and not know why they coming with us. They just coming. Yep. And there's a lot of people that think they're going to stay behind and go through the things that you leave behind. Have at it.
Yeah. They can have it. They can have all of it.
Don't recommend it.
Of course, I might decide to use a scorched earth policy, though.
Have at it. Because once it changes, it's going to be a place that you will never be able to live in peace again because we weren't supposed to be here in the first place. And we're here now. The Bible says in Jeremiah chapter 34, 31, verse 9, he said they're going to come weeping, crying.
I know that's right.
This thing is, if that's the case, it's going to get bad.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to come crying, asking, where's that law? What are we supposed to do? So this is really...
It's important.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Say that again.
It's important. When Yah tells us to move out as a people, we need to move out. Because it's not about Elvis leaving the building. It's about when Yah leaves the building, what the situation's going to be.
Absolutely. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get worse than they could ever imagine.
Better not miss ship's movement.
And then, and then on top of that, the first place they run is to the church. They run to the church. Give us the answer. They go call the same pastors, don't they? Ain't that madness? They call the same community leaders to come through and look at the stuff. And they call the same pastors to come and do the same thing. And it's the same outcome no matter what. And Israel just standing over in the corner with their arms folded like if you would just only listen. shaking their head at all the flowers and the cards and the lit candles, and you're just looking at them like if you would just only listen. They'll get in a circle in the middle of the street, I've seen it for myself, and call past the pork chop to come stand in the middle of the circle, and they saying a prayer that absolutely goes nowhere.
Yeah.
They do.
Absolutely.
And Israel standing in the corner, been on the street corner all day, standing over in the corner with their arms folded, looking at them like that is truly the definition of madness. That's madness. You keep on calling the same people and nothing happens. They keep saying the same prayer and nothing happens.
Ain't nothing happened yet, is it? They've been doing that. They've been doing that since Marcus Garvey.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. And the new generation come up and they do the same old thing. And Israel standing over in the corner with their hands folded up, or their arms wrapped on top of each other, just looking at them, shaking their head like if you would just only listen.
We would like to thank you for listening to our program. We invite you to join us every Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have our Shabbat class, and we really enjoyed all of the things that we have listened to today and have heard from our program. And we would like to give a tribute to the young man who has passed away, Nipsy Hussle. We just like to say we're really sorry for his loss, and we want to give him an opportunity to be able to share something of his music with us so that we can go ahead and lead this thing out. I hope you guys enjoy this song that we're about to play. Here we go.
Sold everything but they sold, straight off the curb. Real niggas rich as you nerds, addressing whom and making stone. I don't do this for nothing. Nah. But I don't do this for nothing. No, not no. Not at all. But my money red, money red. Hustle the money the hood. That's why I need love. Hustle, I don't do this for nothing. Hustle the motor, hustle the motor. Not at all. Hustle the motor, hustle the motor. I do what I got. Hustle the